Welcome back. We've got a 45-15 setup for this one. So every station you're going to work for 45 seconds, rest for 15, work again doing the same thing for 45 seconds. Then you have 15 to rest, move to the next station 2 times in a row, next station 2 times in a row. Equipment, you'll want a bench or couch or chair for some split squats. You want sliders for some hamstring runners. And then some weights. You're going to use, we'll have some Russian twists on the floor, some sit-ups, so probably like a medium weight for that one. So we're going to start in 10 seconds, and the first station is going to be our hand walk. So just a good warm-up movement to get moving here.
Great demo from Ben. This is not a hand walk to push up, it's just a hand walk. So as you walk back in, stretch those hamstrings. As you hand walk out, try to get out about as far as you can within reason. Big stretch there, don't let the hips sag, and then shuffle your way back in. Being mindful of the hips as you go in and out, that they are kind of staying lined up. So not a lot of twisting, makes it a bit harder to control that. 10 seconds. 5. Yeah, good. 45-15, so 15 seconds to rest, and let's go again. 5. Nice big stretch. Get on out there. Take a second, hand walk back in. And when you're out there, maybe have another inch or 2 of height in the hips you would usually have, just to make sure you have a little bit of leeway in case things turn bad. And if you need to, drop your knees, kind of save yourself out there if you get too far extended. 15 seconds out. Our next exercise is going to be skaters. It's not a mini skater, so we're not working on a hand reach to foot, just some dynamic lateral movements. 3, 2. Watch out for obstacles on the floor. You got plenty of space and let that agile. Whoosh. Whoosh. Sound effects help.
So side to side, going for some distance. Make sure you're aware of how much space you've got, what kind of traction you have too, so you're not slipping all over the floor. But stepping out, try not to use that back foot. Try to have that toe just kind of hovering over the ground. It's there if you need it, but we're trying not to use it. If you need to avoid the impact, you can keep more just curtsy lunges back and forth, where you do bring the foot down and it's more of a step out. 10 seconds left, rather than an actual jump. So kind of modify this as needed. 3, 2, 1.
Out of breath on the first thing.
So we're going to step out to the side. The arms can swing a little bit to give you some momentum and to help with that balance as you're going side to side. Very soft on the landing, so you do come down on your toe first and then the heel comes down a little bit. And mix up the tempo, a little quicker steps or a little slower and deeper. 20 left. 12 seconds. Our next one will be down on your back. It will be a suitcase crunch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Got it.
In the suitcase crunch, guys, heavy crunch, nice little rotation side to side. Try to get the obliques active, Core stays active. If it starts to bug your neck, let's support the neck and head with the hands lightly. That can kind of unload that oblique. You have to search for it a little more, but really make sure that oblique is tight when you come to side. 20 seconds out. 10. 5. Good. Let your head relax. The more you think about that oblique, likely the more you'll find it. So as you come across, pull that rib down toward the hip bone. 5. Heavy crunch. A little rock and roll side to side here. You might reach for your heels and tap the heels. You might reach for the ankle. If your feet are really tight, you might reach for the toes, but give yourself kind of an end point, something you're reaching for. 20 seconds here. The next exercise, we're gonna go into a curtsy lunge. 10. 2. 'Curtsy lunge will set the knee back behind the other ankle. Hopefully.
You'll keep almost all the weight on that front leg. So the stronger you are with this, the less you're going to use that back foot, and almost not at all. That back foot can be just to kind of catch your balance, but not to actually push into the floor. Otherwise, you can get down onto your toe and use that back foot for some help. You're trying to do the least amount possible. There's a good way, a nice little pistol version of this. So you're welcome to give that a try. A few of you that might be able to pull that off. 12 seconds left.
Flexibility is not.
But the idea with these versus a regular reverse lunge or pistol squat would be to get some of that extra rotation. So you do want the knee to come around just a bit. And relax there. And that upper body is going to lean forward to keep the weight forward. Anytime if you're doing any kind of pistol squat like that or single leg squat, you need to center your balance, you need to center your weight. And you can't do that if you're standing up too tall or leaning backwards. So drive the heel in once you're in that bottom position. If you find you can't get that back knee very close to the floor, don't rotate quite as much. Sometimes if you try to maximize the rotation, then you limit how much depth you can get. So kind of find a good happy medium where you can get some rotation but still good depth. 8 seconds left. After this one, we will be in a push-up with a shoulder tap.
In the push-up with the shoulder tap, having a wider base will likely give you a little more stability. Could be from your knees or from your toes, but really trying to control the hips, the rib cage, the shoulders, and that reach across. So really stable in the body. You might even think about prepping the body a little bit before you remove that hand. So nice tight, and then remove that hand kind of seamlessly without feeling a big body shift. 15 seconds here. 10. 2. 'Air's good. Air is good.
Yeah.
Breathing's nice. Here we go. Back in, guys. Press and reach. Good. Yeah. Press and reach. And as we get further into this set, still keep that same intention with the hips so everything stays squared up. Don't let that shoulder elevate too much as you reach across. 25, if you feel strong, take an extra half a second of pause there. Stay on that one arm for a little longer duration. 15 seconds. Our next exercise, we're gonna go into a side plank with a switch. So kind of that little I Dream of Genie action. Side plank position, reach under, switch sides. 2.
Speaking of air, remind me during the stretches, I've got some research to share. So side plank with the switch. You start out in a good side plank position, reaching up, and then reaching that forearm next to the other one. Switching sides. Take your time on that switch so we're not falling all over the place. If you want to stack your feet like Kyle's doing there, you can. Otherwise, if that feels a little too unstable, you can have your feet separated and you're rolling mostly on your toes. That way. Nice, smooth, keep the hips up. Six seconds to go. And as you make that transition, make sure you're feeling good on that shoulder before you shift all your weight into it. So make sure that elbow is directly under the shoulder so things can stay lined up. Because that is a lot of weight that's going to be just on one side of your body, on one shoulder. You can always go to your knees for this one as well. 15 seconds left. Three, 2, 1.
Did you mention it yet? In-out squat jumps.
In-out squat jumps. I thought I said it, but it was
I don't know.
all in my head. I don't think I did.
I was thinking about way too many things when I was doing that. So you may have said it and you may not have. Who knows? Here it is, guys. In-out squat jumps. Nice big squat wide and then nice quick narrow tap. Be about as springy as you can. Narrow taps. Just tap the toes right back out. Tap the toes right back out. A little hot potato action there in the middle. 20 seconds. And then the depth of the squat is up to you. If you feel like you want to get a nice deep squat, go for it. If you want to stay kind of more toward that upper third, that's fine too. 10 seconds. 5. Cheers. 5. 'For most of this will be appropriate, but if you need to limit the impact, you might just do some squat pulses instead. 20 seconds out. Our next exercise, we're gonna go into a static dead bug. You have a little bit of weight nearby, maybe up to 10 pounds. You're welcome to use it. Body weight for me is okay. 5. 'Low back's pushed down into the floor.
The more vertical your arms and legs are, the easier it'll be. It's usually a good idea to start more vertical and then let things slowly fall out until you find a good angle. And then as you go, you can make adjustments. If it's getting really, really hard, just come a little more vertical with everything. You can bend the knees a little bit. If it's feeling easy, fall out a little more with the arms and legs. Keep the legs straight. 12 seconds. Good, consistent breathing. You can support your head a little bit with your hands if you need to, if your neck's feeling off. 5 seconds. Now deep breaths, let those abs relax.
Good acceleration on the one.
Yeah.
Usually I get further and it's not so bad that one, so.
Yeah, these are definitely another one where the more you focus on what you're doing, since we're not adding movement into it, it gives you all the chance in the world to think about what's activated, what's working. Do you feel even on both sides of your core? Can you still take deep breaths? The idea is kind of, as you inhale, push that air down into your stomach a little bit more. You should see stomach move up and down a little bit as you breathe, but it's constantly engaged. So you can practice that diaphragmatic breathing while keeping tension, which is a really good thing to work on. 12 seconds. Last 5, and then you're going to stay down on the floor for a plank opposite reach. Coming up next. So a little more core, but from the flip side.
Plank opposite reach, maybe some wide feet. Take your time. Pause as long as you'd like to there. Use the glute to lift that leg up. And then try to pull opposite limbs at the same time and set them down at the same time. So nice, gentle, methodical movements. 20 seconds. Good 10. Three, 2. What do you think's harder, this one or plank and reach with no foot?
I think the reach with no foot is harder.
Me
I
too.
think keeping your foot down on the floor is harder.
Yeah, same.
Which it doesn't necessarily seem like you'll be that way. Counterbalance, yeah.
Yeah, right, same. For you guys out there complaining about this, at least it's not plank and reach with no foot.
Or you can do it if you want.
Yeah. I think it's harder. I think not being able to pull a leg off the ground for a little bit of like, I don't know, it's weird. 25 seconds. We got hamstring runner coming up, so get your discs nearby. We'll be on our backs, heels on top. 15 seconds. 10. 3, 2, yes. Breathe. On your backs, bring your discs.
So you probably know the different variations by now. We go over these every time, but most challenging option would be keeping the hips up, alternating as you go, and crossing the feet kind of as far away from your body as you can. That'll make it the hardest. That's very, very challenging. Make it a little easier. You can let the hips rest on the floor lightly, still keeping most of the weight in your heels and going back and forth. Another option would be to bridge up and do one leg at a time, alternating as you go. So left out back, right out back, and then continuing from there. So a lot of options for this one. You can mix it up if you want. 12. But the idea is to feel back of your legs, so hamstrings burning, butt's working, even your calves. 5. And by keeping those toes up, you might feel, when I do these, I feel my anterior tibialis, in front of my shins, working a lot, kind of pulling those toes back. So, second round. anterior tibialis, but also tibialis anterior. I think it switches. People call it both. In case anybody's calling me out on my anatomy. So again, find the option that works. As you burn it out, you can always drop those hips, but still keep most of the weight in your feet. So pushing down into those sliders hard. 15 seconds to go. After this one, we're going to have a Russian twist. So you can use a weighted object if you want for these next ones. Usually about medium to lightweight would be good. 5. There it is.
Options: feet up, feet down, lean back, don't lean back, weight, no weight, arms extended, arms tight. Take your pick. Out of all those, the hardest would be feet off the ground, leaning back pretty far with some weight and the arms extended. If it's too much, hips back, feet down for sure, lean forward a little bit. You could likely still carry the weight, just don't extend too far from the chest and keep it light. 15 seconds out. 5. 5 seconds out, guys. Another twist. Here we go. Lean back as much as you can. If you need to make it a bit easier throughout, then just lean forward a bit. "30 seconds here. Coming up next, we're gonna go into a Bulgarian split squat. So hopefully you have a coffee table, something nearby you can put a foot on. 10. 5. 4. I'm going to go body weight, but if you wanted to introduce a little bit of weight, you're certainly welcome to. It can be under chin, into hands, or just in the arm of the leg and back.
So find the right distance away from the bench. If you find yourself putting a lot of pressure in that front knee, lots of times you're too close to the bench, so you might want to hop out an inch or two. If you're feeling the back knee or back hip a lot, you're pushing too much weight into that leg. You want to keep about probably 95% of your weight on that front leg. Load it as much as you can, drop the back knee down. 18 seconds to go. Keep that front heel really pushed into the floor too. Make sure your hips are helping out. 10. And again, depending on how much weight you have, if you have any weight, you can change tempo. You can go quick reps, you can go a little slower. Good, switching sides. But as Kyle says a lot, like switch up tempo from what you're used to. If you're comfortable doing a certain speed the whole time, then do it a little differently. Make your body adapt to some changes here. Since we don't necessarily have all the tools that you would have in the gym, got to find other ways to change up intensity to mix it up for your body. So tempo is a really good way to do that. So again, a lot of this has to do with that starting position. Find a good distance. If you're too far away, that back leg stays too straight. If you're too tight to the bench, you feel really cramped. 15 seconds to go. After this one, you're going to be on your back for some bicycle crunches. 3. Nice. Stay moving on those.
Didn't make me happy. Here we go, bites. Change the speed, make it hard, work on the extension. Push that foot out way away from the body. You might even squeeze your glute a little bit just to make sure that leg's extended. So push that foot out, squeeze the quad, squeeze the glute. Opposite elbow towards opposite knee. As much torso rotation as you're comfortable with, but definitely reaching around a bit. 20 seconds. Ten. 5, 4, 2. Yeah, good to breathe. You got some stuff left today still. Looks like 6 stations after this one. So closing in. Still some work to be done though. And in the bicycle, if you're comfortable, you might let that opposite elbow really reach back toward the floor. So big torso rotations. And if it gets crazy, you can always set that heel down, out away from the body, or keep the knees kind of crimped a bit. Ben's got a demo of that, so reduce as much as necessary, especially if you're getting in your low back. 20 seconds out. Core should be fatigued, that's fine, but if you're feeling a lot in your back, let's find something else. 15. Next thing is going to be a slow on the way up push-up. 5. This is the first push-up I've done all day.
I was gonna say.
It's been core and legs.
Like, I think I've had 4 or 5.
Weird.
Yeah,
It's okay, my pec's been kind of funny. Kind of funny. Slow on the way up, push up.
So ultra slow-mo, keeping everything connected from the shoulders down to the heels. You might get a couple breaths on your way up, and then you can come down fast. I mean, under control where you're not hitting yourself hard on the floor, but you can come down a little quicker on these than a normal push-up to give you more time spent in the up pushing and less time in that lowering. Got 10 seconds to go. Time it out, maybe just one more. 3, 2, 1. Keeping a lot of the weight in the palms of your hands. You can still push through your fingers too, but the majority of it's driving through the palms. Lats are engaged, so you're not shrugging those shoulders up. Keep those shoulders packed down. And super slow. Everything together. 20 seconds left. 10. 3, 2, 1. Good. Next one will be on your feet. It's a squat jump, floor touch, floor tap. If you're a little taller, you won't necessarily get all the way to the floor. If your back gives you trouble, you can shallow it a little bit, but the idea is to reach.
Well, Ben gave you all the cues I was going to give you, so I'm just going to sit here and stretch a little bit, I guess.
I saw you were tired, so I didn't want you to have to work on this one.
Appreciate that. Could you see me looking for my lats in the push-ups? I was trying to find them.
No.
Almost like a max bench, like real heavy, like eccentric with big breaks. It's good. Good push-up set. One for the day. 15 seconds out, guys. Squat, jump, floor touch, squat, jump, shin touch, squat, jump, knee touch, whatever happens to be. If your back's really bad, just do some squat jumps instead. Keep the torso vertical. 5 seconds out.
Legs well done.
5. Here we go, guys. Same thing. 25. Next thing after squat, jump, floor touch, we're gonna go med ball sit up. We'll sit up tall, ball overhead, lower the body slowly. 10 seconds here. 5.
'em. It's definitely the 25-pound ball, in case you're wondering. So legs can be bent a little bit if you feel better with them straight, but keeping the ball or weight reached vertical the whole time. So don't swing it back behind your head and use it for momentum. You want the abs to be lifting the resistance, lifting against that weight, rather than just using your arms to move the weight. 15 left. And you can take these fairly slow, especially on the lowering part. If you do move a little faster, you still just always want to be in control. 5 seconds left. All right, back on 2-1, here we go. Same thing. Nice and smooth on the way down. You will end up rounding your back a little bit on this one, but you want to keep that to a minimum. Don't feel like you're just curling your body up as much as possible. You want to keep some rigidity to your torso as you go up and down. Good 20 seconds. So another 10. After this one, you'll be up to your feet for a forward reverse lunge. If you want some weight, you can grab weight. 2, 1. If you want to use the same weight you were just doing, you can hold that. Up forward, reverse lunge, you can step it forward, backward, same leg swinging.
This one gets tough over time. If you're strong, definitely think about tempo here. You might not stand up 100%. You might keep just a real small crimp in that knee or leg that's stationary. And we're definitely trying to limit the touch in the middle of the movement. So don't touch your foot by your other foot. Just say forward lunge, spring back, reverse lunge. You feel good, man. Sell it for some tempo. It gets hard fast. 15 seconds out here. 10. You're gonna feel a lot working. 5. Say everything below the belly button starts to kind of suck a little bit. There's some glutes on both sides, there's some quads on both sides, some hamstrings on both sides, a little bit of calf for a push off. 3, 2, here we go, same thing, other side. Maybe a little more fatigue starting on the other side, it's okay. Settle into that same tempo. Try to be quick over the top, right into that lunge. "20 seconds. 10. 5. Next exercise is a quad plank. 2. Switch that last thing on there. So not high plank, quad plank. Oh. Are you doing quad plank? Yeah. Quad plank, guys, knee hover. Knees 90, hips 90, shoulders 90. That's it. Breathe.
Just holding everything tight here. It's just a static one. Gives you a chance to think a little bit about what you're doing, what's activated, or just distract yourself totally and think about something else. But knees are just hovering off the floor. Think lats tight, so shoulders are pulled away from your ears. Just creates extra tension here, really trying to kind of compress everything through the whole torso. 15 to go.
I'm gonna stay after the rest if you guys want to come with me. Probably not after those lunches though.
No, I wouldn't. 3, 2, 1. Go straight through if you want. Be like Kyle. True champ.
May as well work out if we're working out, right?
What if I told you the next station was crawling? Would you still go straight through?
Do it.
No. Nah, I wouldn't ask you to do that. We'll do something different. So next one will be on your back, but it will be another core exercise. Got 30 seconds left here. Deep breaths. You can think about that inhale a little more. You're not distracted by anything else. 20 to go. And the next one, as I mentioned, you'll be on your back. We're going to do a straight leg drop. Last 10. Get through. Dig it out here. 5. And got it. Nice. Good work. Showing off. When you know it's your last station, so you can
It's not bad, it's not bad. That's like I've done that a few times. Like my knees are fast feet. Like, oh, if I know it's my last one, I'm gonna go super hard. You never see me doing that in the first station.
Just need a little bit of mental pain every once in a while just to harden everything else in my life. I think I'm hardened from the kids. Quad plank, cake, bro, cake. It's all right. 20 seconds, guys. Ben's got a good demo. Drive that back down, single leg drop. You can keep the toes dorsiflexed if you'd like. Relax the foot if you'd like. Either way, leg stays long. If you can get a heel tap, great. If you can't get down that far, it's okay. 5. Some of us are going to be tight in the hamstrings. We can't keep the foot vertical. It's going to make it quite a bit harder for you. Core is going to be under a demand throughout. 10 seconds. After this, we're going to go ahead and get into our stretching routine. We have 3 things. $20 seconds. I don't know if you can hear Ben's breathing, but we're inhaling on the drop, exhale on the draw. 10 seconds. Probably the hardest thing I've done in the last 6 months is run up total pipeline. That was so, I mean, comparing anything.
What am I doing?
Neck stretch, sorry, neck trap, guys. Stand tall, hand behind the back, hand on head. Anything in comparison to that is like, it's all right, man, it's cool.
I've heard it, yeah. It's a dangerous area.
Dangerous from a caloric expenditure standpoint.
Dangerous to your body.
It's big, man. It's a big hill. That one hurt. It was hot that day too. 20 seconds out. But I would probably rather quad plank for like 10 minutes than do that again. It's hard. Hard. 5. But I'm no Ruhi though. I don't know if I can do 10 minutes.
How long did it take you to get like roughly, like you said, we're talking a couple minutes, like 5 to 10 minutes? What's like the work that you do?
It's like 3 separate hill climbs all in succession. So it's like if you drive on, what is that, Redmond Woodville or 202, whatever it is, you can see it out of your, have you seen it before?
Yeah.
So you see that hill, but what you don't see is behind it is a larger hill, right? I don't know, I'd have to look at the GPS. to figure out what it is from point to point.
Like
in total.
approximately how long are you working to get from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill? How
Probably a
long
mile.
pain is this? Okay.
So probably 12.
10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a long time to do pushing.
I mean, that initial hill was like 3 or 4 minutes. I don't remember. I'd have to look. Maybe 3:51 or something. But it's like all out hill climb for that duration. It was hard. We'll switch sides.
I already did.
Thank you. We'll go into the world's greatest stretch. Don't let us distract you from what you're supposed to be doing. 3. World's greatest lunge base. Drop the elbow, reach the chest, reach high. The Chumpstick Highway was cake compared to that. Chumpstick was kind of fun, really. It was early. No cars, a couple cars. There's no shoulder, right? So it's early in the morning on weekdays, okay. Everybody's going toward Leavenworth, not toward Plain. And so if you run in the direction people would be coming lane-wise toward Plain, there's less traffic. 10 seconds out. 5.
I could live in a van like that. That's probably big enough.
Yeah.
Need a bathroom. There's another one right there. It's all the vans in it. Spur van.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell my story about you know how when you're I don't know, at least for me growing up, coach would always you get on the sprint, you like this.
Yeah.
Coach was always like, no, put your hands up.
Yeah.
Open up your lungs. Well, I always knew in the back of my mind that was baloney. And they've done some research and they're actually showing that down in this position, actually you can get more air into your lungs to it.
Huh.
Because I'd always be like, man, no, don't tell me what to do. This feels way better
Right,
to go
right,
down
right.
like this. Even
Yeah.
if it's for like 10 seconds and then stand up.
I mean, your body's not a stupid thing, right? Like,
Yeah, they'd always
why?
be like,
It's not going to do something that's inefficient butterfly.
yeah, coaches would always harp on that. Like, no, open up the lung, open up the lungs. I was like, no, I mean, I'd do it, I'd stand up, or I'd go down my knees for like 10 seconds. But it's funny, they did some research and they're showing that it actually increases, like it's something about like the positioning of the rib cage allows for the lungs to like recover better. And I was just like, finally, it took 30 some years to tell my coaches that was BS. And they're finally showing that like that's actually, not that you just want to be like hunched over for 5 minutes after a race, but like maybe for the first 30 seconds you get on the sprint, like that's just what you want to do, is you just want to put your, and like it relaxes your core muscles and
That's what I was
everything,
thinking.
right?
Yeah, to where you can actually get an easier deep breath.
Yeah, and so like you're unloading all of your joints, your muscles, right? It's like a chance to like, your upper body is totally relaxed, your legs are like just holding you up basically. And so I thought that was really interesting. So anyway, applies to some of you too. If you don't just sprint and you go down like this for a minute, it's cool. Maybe don't throw up down there. But.
I would do it. I would do it.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Good work
Thanks
today.
for joining us for Social Hour.
Good work.
Bye.